Okay, the previously what we seen, right? Previously we seen that how to convert that simple object and to form a string, and then simple object to convert to XML. So this is simple way. Now next what we do, we take the multiple objects, mean array of values. Let's see how this work with multiple values. Now first you construct the data required, how many records you want, either 2, 3, right? Always use online editor to construct your array of JSON or JSON data. So it will give if any syntax errors are there. Okay, just go here. Now it is done. Let's bring a new component, transform message, and put all the data here. Okay, this create one variable emp details equals to, this is the variable which holds the array of data. Um, chat next video. Here now, what is our expectation to convert to XML? The moment I give XML, right, as told you, right, it will not show you anything here. I just say, okay, let's take as a payload here, as we always say. Okay, this is a payload. This is our data. Now here, see, it gives error because of there is nothing here. At least something should be there here. Now I say preview. There is nothing preview because there is error here. We are trying to convert this to XML, but XML expects something. As we seen earlier, right? The list, right? If we have only one record, that time what we do, that you give a root element and assign that value, that object to this element. Now this time, what is our data? How the data looks? We have this multiple objects in a array. Right, so what we do first, we have to see this to give the root element, what we call as employee list, right? Inside employee list we have the employee records, right? Employee, then we assign this payload to this guy. Hey, hold the data. So I have built the structure as you expected. Now you could see how this is coming. See, inside employee list is the root element of all, right? In that it contains the list of employee records, right? So it is the reason, means employee objects. So that employee objects, it's coming as a array of objects. So this guy will assign this value to this one. It's a, and it loops these values and store in this root element. This is how it looks. It's simple, like change that XML format, but real-time scenario, this cannot be expected. This look should good, means need, even though we are building, we are constructing the XML also. So how you do that? Okay, let's take one more field also to make it more complicated. Okay, let's add some new field called skills. Okay, now sorry, it's going skills. What this skills contains? Again, we take one more array. This array holding some values. You know that's what is that array? Is a comma separated, right? Java, also AWS. Okay. Why I am adding here array of objects right inside to see that how this data can be passed during XML format. So you will get an idea on that. Now here I will just remove few fields. Okay, let's hit 2 instead of same set of data. Okay, now our data is ready. Now how you can change this, right? You could see still this is right, it is coming skill separately. But what we are trying to do, right, to make this data with clear and neat and so that end user can understand this is the employee and record it looks that as we see in this previously, right, how this XML data looks, right, how they have constructed this, you see. We have closed that. Okay, no, forget about that. Okay, now this employee list, what we want to do, I just do a minor change here. This starts with the square brackets, and you know that data map is there, data, right? Now, sorry, this is not data, we have a payload, right? Sorry, payload. Sorry. Now, first go one step by step. Payload, right? This is coming them as a map, right? So it gives a syntax. You see this one? How you can loop these values, right? First, let's see that. See, immediately see this one, employee list is, right? It is not going to do anything. Let's complete this. Okay. Now, first take employee list. All right. Then data map. Okay, no worry. I will explain this clearly. Nothing to worry. And inside that, we are looping this because this is a map, right? List of array content, list of records. That's why map inside it is holding key value pair. All this, right? Let's say employee. Great. Column. As we know, dollar dot with ID. Unique ID. So what is the unique ID said? Record index. We take the record index plus dollar is gives you index of that record. What's going wrong here? Imply list colon. Okay, this is open. Next, closing brace, payload, looping map, imply. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is minor mistakes cascades bigger issue. Okay, next, our actual ID. Now, say dollar dot I. Now, name. Location. Say location. Now, okay, we are done with this. Okay, skills, let's see that. See how this data is constructed. See, employee ID equals to 1 to 1, ID equals to 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Now, what is another thing is left here? Skills are left. Skills. See, as we discussed, dollar dot skills. Now, see, it is giving all the list of skills for that. So this make you complicated to understand, right? Before we go to make this clear and understand that, let's discuss first the basic part of that. How, what is a map, then how you can use that map, then we'll come back to this once again. Okay, first let's go for the simple map. JSON to first JSON to CSV will do that, then we go for the map. Now this, let's have the same data here, what we have this. Okay, now this case, we are trying to convert this incoming JSON object to CSV. As we see in this, right, what is required to change here? Simple, you can change to CSV. And here you just call that data, what is there in that employee data here, right? You just remove this curly braces, say payload. This is not actually payload we are trying to call this one. Okay, now preview this one. So convert to some JSON to CSV, there is nothing to change, right? It just specify, just change the format type CSV. By default, you could see the header names are mapped to the corresponding values, name, location, and designation is this one, status is this one. Suppose if you don't want the headers to be displayed, I just want the only values here. Then what you do that one, you say header equals to true. By default, it is a true. If you don't want the headers, right, just say false. See, the header is removed. See, this is how you can simply convert object to JSON. You can have array of values also. The same way you can convert to CSV. So CSV, you don't need to write anything. Simple thing, right? Just put that, specify the type CSV, and if you want the header or by default header equals to true. If you don't want that header to be displayed, then you can change to false, right? This is how that we can convert JSON to CSV. Now let's discuss about map, right? The same data we store for the map. Let's see how, what is the purpose of that map and how we can loop that map. Yeah, let's take the same data here, or array of values. How you are iterating the map in the Java, right? The same thing, right? There's nothing confused here. Okay, let's go with the simple thing. Okay, now we have 3 records here. Now what is our expected? Our expected is to convert this JSON to,
Yes.
no, this is JSON only, list of JSON, but we are going to customize this one, right? We are trying to customize this one. Say again, we are converting to JSON only. You can ask me a question, sir, why you are converting JSON? It is already JSON. Because see, now if the data is coming such a way like this array of records. Now, if you want to store this field, you don't want this ID name like this, you want something different name. So how you do that? You cannot directly take these values, right? So this DataWeave expression provide a object called map, operator called map. Say this is the payload, right? This is the payload. You are using map payload. See, it gives the list of values available map. Say now what you are going to do, say you can put that it is coming as item, and index item is nothing but the each record here, record by record will come, and the index is nothing but the index of this record 0, and this is 1, and this is 2. Let's say this one, you no need to put item also, you can say record also. Sorry, see this just coming just like that. You can put your name no matter, but say record, and index, let's keep that index as is now. Yes, okay. Now this is how it automatically give the syntax. Not what we are trying to do, we just pull the index. Now how, what is this index? Placeholder $, right? Say $2 gives the index of this record. What somewhere error is found. Payload map record index. Sorry, we have not used $$ here. Index. We are using this index. Sorry. So we are using this index. If you don't use this one, right? Then $$ will work. See now. So this we will see later. Let's go with the index and record base. Now you could see this. I have just written this line. I am looping this one. Payload means this is my payload. This is my data. I am looping this one. And it is stored in the form of map object. This is the record. It takes record by record. How many records are there? See 1, 2, 3 records. That is the reason it shows 3 indexes. Now you want to pull the next field. What is this next field? I want to see this is ID coming as ID, but I want to store this as a employee ID like this. No, you know that one. So in that record, you have that record. Say record dot means each record is holding some set of fields, right? Record dot ID. Then again, what is the next field? Employee name. Then you to say record from that record dot what is this name? You just map this name. Then status. So again record dot status. So you don't have status. Sorry, this is your location. Now let's take as location. Now see this. This is also a JSON data because this is also JSON data. But what we have done here, we have looped that using map operator. You could say this one and mouse over. What you see here, array of it is holding. Return type is array of values. Index with that. See what it is saying? Index string employee ID 1 to 1, right? ID employee ID 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and the employee name is so on, so on, so on, like this coming. Then this array we are iterating, we are looping and storing into our required fields. Like this, you can simple, right? There is nothing difficult in that. It is simple, just looping that one map, it holding record, each record by record, yeah, with the particular index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, so on that. The same thing, okay? The same thing we can do, right? As we see in this $$ symbol also there. So how you do that $$ symbol? The same object we can do, right? Just remove this one, or else we can create one more object. Okay, let's take the same data. Now, JSON, sorry, JSON. Now what we do the same thing. Means payload map. Means again, this is a payload only. Then what we are trying to do this time, we don't use the record based index. What we do, just use this index $2 symbol. Right? So this is not right. Now this is also looping, but here we are not taking any indexes. Let's see, some error is going on. Okay. Data payload is already saying somewhere it is used. Okay. Now data means this data operand means map. I am looping this one. How you get this one without any index base? You see earlier using this syntax record index we are getting. Now this time how you get this one? See employee. And what is that syntax we have discussed? $. See, it gives that, right? Single dollar gives the index of that record. Sorry, key or field value. $. Say index. You say $. But you could see here the preview say employee 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is the index, right? So let's assign to the record key and say record space $. See record 0, 1, 2, 3. But here employee, where is this one? To get this value, what we do? See $1 gives that in the key or field value. Let's name employee name. See employee name, it is right. Employee name. Now next what we do? Employee ID we have missed that. Okay, a employee ID. Okay, how you do that? Now next dollar dot ID. Sorry, double quotes is missed here. Okay, dollar dot ID. What's going wrong here? Okay, this is not complete. That is the syntax. If any syntax error, right, you could not see this one, even a small syntax. Whatever we are completing, right, up to that it should be completed. Otherwise, you cannot see this. If you are good and expert in writing these syntaxes, right, you can go ahead just like that. Once you are completely done, right, you can see this preview messages. Now, what is the last field? Location. So location dollar dot location. So this is how you could see this. Say this is how you two different ways we can loop this array of objects. One is using dollar base, right? You can get the values and index, and another is you can loop that record base, index base. Both are similar, nothing, but this makes simple, right? Instead of putting record orders, right? This go simple. Right, but this both will not work always, right? Depending on the scenario use case in our real-time coding, we have to use that one. And in the next coming session, we will see that where exactly we use this dollar symbol. Now, next we will see this map object. As we see in this map is a array works on array of objects, array of records, and map works on only single object. So let's drag this one more thing component and take single object. As we discussed that map object works only on the object. Now this is the EMP data. Now this also what we are trying to convert this also we are trying to convert to JSON. But this time, what is this state map object? Map object used to separate data, indexes, keys, values. So we can play according to the syntax. You see this? This is EMP data, right? Now say EMP data, the meant to say map, just type map object because this EMP data is a object, single object. That's why it gives you that map object. You could see this one. How many parameters are coming? 3 parameters are coming. Values, key, indexes, right? So let's see now. You can pull what you want exactly. If you want say value keys, now key. If you want to bring keys, only keys, you can say put keys. That's all. Key. Now just preview that what you could see all the keys like name, location, designation, status. See what keys are available here. If you want to get the only values, right, put this values. See now you could see the value is all these values for this key. And also similarly you can put indexes. Just separate means you can segregate, you can separate all the object data. So you can play with that keys, values, indexes, right? To separate that list of things, right? Items, they can go for map object. So that's all, nothing in that map object. Next thing is that function is reduce function. As we see reduce function, right? In terms say reduce means it like reduces the number of lines of code, means it eliminates the a number of lines of data, right? Let's say now this transformer, let's go take the list of array of values. Okay, now this we can say data. This also we can take as XML, sorry, JSON. JSON. Now what we are trying to do, this you could see basically, right, this right, one object, two object, ID, name, location, etc. Instead of doing that, I can just simply reduce this, right? How do that? Data, see, design data and function uses that reduce. Now you don't need to all these things. You have that dollar symbol, dollar plus, sorry, dollar space plus plus double dollar. Close it and do a preview. What you could see this. See, it is eliminated. See how this one, right? It merges all these objects to single objects. Means it reduces the complex space, right? See, a single array, it convert to object. Even I don't want this one, you can remove this one, not required. Say, let's make it simple. Understood that? Means it converts, means it's like a compressing all this data to, right, with simple way. So this is how you can use reduce function. Now you could see this dollar removes, I put only $1. What I could say this time, right? $1. I would say 1 2 1 2 3 is there. How much it is repeating the same data twice? I could say dollar means list all the records of all this mentioned here. Now let's play with this $2. What do you see this now? First record, repeat that twice, means first record of that twice, but it's not the right way, right? Use this syntax only, dollar plus plus dollar, then you could see the list of values as compress one. So this is how the reduce function will work for us. And one more important thing is flat run. Flat run is the function that you use to flatten our data. Flatten our data means that you can merge our data. Means if in real time scenario, if we have multiple arrays, right? In Java, we already know that if there are multiple arrays, right, multiple list of data, right? If we have two different APIs, right, that are executed, one API is returning some set of data, another API returning some set of data. Like that, if we have multiple APIs, then finally you want to merge those two APIs result and to produce a single output. So that case, what we do, we are taking a array list, add all same, right? For the first list, then you are adding, and then second list you are adding, right? Then final list you are putting to some list or blah blah. We are doing something. So we no need to worry about this here. In MuleSoft already providing us a flat run function which help you to merge multiple arrays data to single format. How do that? Okay, let's take. Okay, use the same format. We will take two different arrays. Now this is array 1. Let's assume that now I have array 1. I copy paste the same thing. Array 2 means data 1 and data 2. Okay, let's give different names here. What there 1 2 3 is there, so 1 2 4. Okay, and here 1 2 5, 1 2 6. Okay, different records. Change the name of also here is. Okay, that's now we have totally six records are there. Now here I want to display that data with merged, means I want to produce that as single list in single payload. How you do that one? You have to start with the flat run function. So what is that flat run function? Type F and say flat run. You could say this one, flat run is there at the end of this flat run. What you are going to flat run? I'm going to flat run this two arrays to single. How you did this one? Data, say plus data 2. Now check the preview, you could see the merged output. See this one, 1 2 1 1 2 2 1 2 3 1 2 4 1 2 5 1 2 6, all are merged here. So this is how we can merge two different array list, right, into to produce single or list. So you can also bring the list of names from both the objects, or you can first just, you can only, if you want to bring only the names from the array 1, right, array of objects 1, then you can do like that also, right? Flat run, sorry, it's not a flat map, flat run. What about this data, right? In that data I want to bring only names. See how you see this one? See this name of this name, right? Now You can ask me that, right? Instead of name from only one array, I want to get the list of names from both the arrays. Yes, that also we can do. How you do that one? You say the same thing. Now this time only one. Now next time I want to merge, right? You know this is merging of this is the syntax. We already know that. First take the merged array, right? First take the merged array. Now I have merged these two. Now what we do that? We have to bring the name of that one. How you do this? Say dot name. See now how it is showing, right? First I have merged these two arrays, right? After merging that, what I'm expecting, I am just pulling the name from this list, right? See, or 6 different names are there from this, right? Similarly, you can not only name, so which field you are expecting, which field you are trying to pull out, right? We can pull out that, say location ID or any blah blah, anything you can put like that. You can pull anything. So this is how flat run function will help us to bring the specific data or to merge both the multiple arrays of data and produce a single output. So any doubts here in this flat run? Hello?
No, sir.
Okay, so what we have discussed here, right? Today we have covered this, that how to build a simple transform message using date functions, and this, right, how to concatenate multiple strings to form a single line. And then the next one is to how to convert single object, one object, to XML format, right? There is nothing complicated to see this one, right? You just have the one. If you have only one record, just provide one root element for this one. The same thing if you have multiple records like this, and if you are converting to XML, then you have to provide this root element is there. We can say, sir, it is very complicated. As we see, as we already seen this one, you don't need to complicate, but this syntax is the right syntax, right? No, I don't want to this, no, I cannot understand this one. What we do this, right? We already seen this one, root element, I can specify employee list, then I can say instead employee objects, I can say use, I will just take this record payload, right? Like this you can do. See, this way also you can do. This makes simple also. But if you see this structured data, right? ID, name, location, skills, blah, blah. But here ID, why you have to create a separate field? Let's have this along with the object. That's why I have constructed in this way. This makes as a simple one line. But if you see the standard XML form, right? To see this XML clean and neat, we have to maintain like this. Record ID has to be to that particular object beginning. So there is not much difference on that. You see this one, right? You see this, right? There is nothing that you just comment these two lines, right? And I will paste that one. Okay, it will help you to see the next time. What is output error is? Okay. This still there. Okay, this is still there. So you can go anyway. First go with this for practice purpose. Then once you are fine and clear, right? Then see this how you are doing. There's nothing here. What we are doing, payload, we are looping and storing ID as this one. Remaining could see this remains same. There is nothing difference. What we have done it here, right? In this payload, right? This map we are looping and getting that record by index based on index, and in our custom fields we are storing that values. Then it is by using dollar, right? How you get the values. And then next is object key. And then what we discussed next is flat run, reduce to reduce the data, I mean to compress the data. Next is flat run, to flat run the list of records, means multiple arrays to single array. I can also pull the specific values from this list of records. So this is how we can play, right? Based on this transform messages, right, formats, we can go ahead. And you could see one thing is transforming from JSON to CSV is not complicated. Just make simple, right? We just specify CSV application / CSV and you decide whether you want the headers. You say headers, by default header equals to true. If you don't want the headers to be displayed in your data, then say false, then you don't see these headers. Okay, and that's all now for this session.